Hey, Chef Walker, and today I want to talk about abundance versus scarcity, and it comes down to this idea of a general narrative versus a specific narrative. So let me explain. I'm in Toronto, Canada right now. I spent the day with Dan Sullivan, and this is a thing he talked about was general versus specific narrative. And so right now there's a ton of scary news out there. There's a ton of violence in the news, and the news media, general media, social media just feeds on this stuff, and people obsess over it, and certainly there is sadness, and I feel absolutely horrible for the people that were personally impacted by that. But a lot of people are just they are obsessing over it. And the reality is if the news isn't impacting you directly, then it's just not really impacting you. You have to create, that's the general narrative. That's the narrative the world, what media, from social media to the big media, they all want to give you that because that's what sells, that's what generates views, that's what people love to obsess about. But the reality is there's so much unbelievable abundance and goodness happening in the world. If you look at, this is a stat I just heard, you go back 200 years, the per capita income was about $300 in today's income. And this is worldwide. And now I think the world per capita income worldwide, even with all the poverty in the world, is $5,000. So if you do the math, I think there's something like 17 times greater per capita income. Again, those are constant dollars. So people have 17 times more wealth and ability to create a lifestyle than they did just 200 years ago. If you look at the global violence and global warfare, it's just a fraction of what it was. I mean, this is the most peaceful time ever in history. And there might be some shocking, violent things in the news, but the reality is that's not what most of us are living with every day. Of course, there are pockets of poverty, there's pockets of violence, but most of us aren't there. Our specific narrative is what we're living every day, and you need to protect your confidence and protect your mindset because if you're watching this, I assume you're an entrepreneur or soon to be entrepreneur, and the reality is that you are defining your world every single day as an entrepreneur. You are getting paid for the thoughts that run through your head. You're getting paid to create, and you can't create from a depleted state. You have to stay positive. You have to focus on abundance. And there's sort of this weird juxtaposition in my life. Like right now, there is some crazy stuff happening in the news. Yet at the same time, I just had a meeting with a couple friends of mine, friends and clients of mine, who just released this film, just created this film called The Abundance Code. And it's a wonderful film, and it's actually, I'm in it. It's a documentary, and I'm one of the folks that they interviewed for it. And frankly, I haven't watched my parts yet because sometimes I feel a little weird about watching myself on video. So this is the first movie I've ever been in. So I hope my parts were good. But the parts that I watched the other parts that I'm not in, or big chunks of it, and it's a great film. It's a great film, and it's got some great actionable steps. So I would definitely, if I were you, I would head over to theabundancecode.com. We'll put up a link straight over to it. The way this is going to work is for the next few days, the film is absolutely 100% free. You can watch the entire documentary for free. You just have to watch the trailer. If it looks interesting, and put in your email address, and you'll get the entire film for free. But that's theabundancecode.com. But I love the message because we are in an abundant world, and you have to stay in an abundant mental state. I've got all kinds of practices that keep me in that abundant state because just like everyone else watching this, I get paid to be creative. And I know that when I am focused in scarcity, I'm focused in bad news, and I cannot create, and you can't create there either. So what I want you to do is protect your confidence. I want you to head over to theabundancecode.com and check it out because I'm a big fan of this message. but you have to surround yourself with people that none of us are perfect. None of us are, I try to, every week I show up for you and I want to bring you the biggest, brightest me. But, I'm not 24 hours a day, Mr. Sunny disposition. Like everyone else, I've got challenges. But I know that to the extent that I stay in an abundant mindset is the extent that I win in the world, that I win in my business, that I get to help more people and I get to build my business. So staying abundant and protecting your confidence it's not just being Pollyanna and burying your head in the sand. It's about investing in your business by investing in your mindset. So stay abundant. I'm Jeff Walker. If you're watching this anywhere else besides my blog at jeffwalker.com, head on over there. Leave a comment for me. Give me a share on social. Like my page. Subscribe to my channel. You know the drill. Whatever. Just give me some kind of reaction, and let's go get them this week.